I'm familiar with the veterans suicide and just the terrible of this and this subject. And I just learned about the Brandon Act and
Hmm.
the House bill that went through. And I'm not sure exactly how well it is working yet, but Brandon is a person who lost their life and to suicide. And it was because they were failed for mental health, failed the resources. And so the family has went and created a House bill and pushed it through and created an act. And I'm
Hmm.
just thankful for families who are turning their pain and grief and their loss right into resilient acts to try to help build those safeguards for the families and for the veteran and military community of the future.
Right. I think Heather Baker is doing, she's done the same thing, um, because of the way she lost her son in the military as well. So that would be a good person for you to reach out to as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me see what I have here. I've been going to my list here of questions.
I don't know if I answered both those questions actually. So,
No, you definitely did really well. What advice would you give to individuals and organizations that are aiming to impact the veteran and Gold Star families? Did we
um,
just cover that question?
I didn't. Did you say? Did I answer it?
I don't know.
Did it?
And
Did it?
that's my fault for having a question list.
Oh,
Well,
that,
is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners today?
I think one of our biggest needs is always a bigger team, because you can plant a lot more seeds in your garden, whatever that is, if you have more people helping you. And so I'm never gonna stop, you know, um, needing that, because our project has much bigger aspirations, much bigger plans than anything that people see now. And so um, I'm excited for the people who believe in us and understand that you haven't seen nothing yet. So like the best really is yet to come in every kind of way. And but you need amazing people to make those kind of dreams happen. God can, be at the front of it, but he still has to have people here, to help, cross all the T's, dot all the I's, get down in the dirt, do the work. And so we definitely have a beautiful team. But for anyone who's wanting to start some kind of veteran organization, my biggest takeaway would be that, to do your research, try to do something different, because there's so many people doing the same things. So, and I feel like what we do is very different. It kind of catches people off guard. They're like, Christmas trees? What is that? I mean, that's the first, nobody wants to see a Christmas tree unless it's like November or December. That's it. So, anytime we're setting up and I get that, what are you doing? I'm like, just come back in it like 2 hours and then you'll love it. And
Yeah.
that's what happens. But really do your research and try to do something different.
I agree with that. And Lori, I just want to, highlight over on the Tree of Valor too, because I found you as the organization Keep Being Resilient, Gold Star Families of North Carolina. And one of the people in our organization, one of the members, gave me a call and was so excited when she met you because we were just talking a month earlier about getting those Christmas trees ready for the malls for North Carolina, so
Mm-hmm.
people have awareness about Gold Star Families of North Carolina and how they can be more involved with the community and as well as the community be involved with them. And we're forming lots of really fabulous connections with organizations just like yours. And we're happy to build kind of onto our organization, Keep Being Resilient, by adding more with the Tree of Valor, sorry, as well as healing the hero, and just making sure we do provide that wraparound service. So it's not just at Christmas time, but it's all the time. And I thank you for continuing that mission, for you and for Lexi. It sounds like you guys are doing a joint effort over there.
We are, and my husband is really, he has really adopted the not your chair tribute, as far as, trying to make it, always like stepping it up, right? On how it's set up, on adding things to it. And he really feels connected to it for some, I don't want to say for some reason, but I actually had asked him, I'm like, is there like a story you're not telling me, that you lost someone in that way? He's like, no, I just really feel like connected to the people that are on the chairs. And so he kind of designs it every time, that he can, unless he's not at the event. Sometimes he still tries to design it for us, but he's always adding something to it to really, and if he doesn't, God does, right? Like we used to just place the photos on the chairs. And then Brigadier General Gorham came for a book signing one day. And we asked him, we had just moved the chairs, and we said, would you mind placing these photos on the chairs? I had no idea what I was about to witness. He didn't just, nicely lay them on the chairs. He took them, I guess the word is marched to the chairs, and then like really looked at the photos and then laid them down on the chairs, and then did this slow salute, rendered a slow salute to every one of these 22 chairs. Oh my word. Like, it was so intense. And I thought, we can never do this different from this day forward. We have to keep doing this now. And so I didn't know what
I've seen that video that you're talking about, and it is so intense. Like you said, it's
it is.
very moving.
And I'll tell you what, then we went to a DAV convention, and they had, I think it was 11 of their officers stand in a line, and they did it. And some of them came to me like immediately afterwards and said, I need to send you a picture. Or someone else said, I had to go into the bathroom and just cry when I was done. We went to Hero Stock in Missouri, and they lined up 22 veterans who were attending the event, and they each laid photos. Oh my gosh. And then at the end of it, this is the first time this has ever happened. This one active Marine, he went and he got a chair and he put it in the middle of the horseshoe, and he just sat there looking at the sign that said, "This is not your chair." Oh my word, the heaviness of that moment, and the picture is worth a billion words.
I think you should have that picture made into a poster, like a banner poster, and have that at your trees so people just understand. It sounds like there's a lot of meaning behind your trees. There's a lot of meaning behind each one of those pictures, and what the chairs represent, the pictures represent.
Right. They definitely do. And someone told my husband one time, we always say 100 trees, 100 stories. And this man said, no, you have millions of stories, because each one of those veterans on that tree, he's got 100 stories. So you don't have 100 trees and 100 stories. You have 100 trees and a million stories. So we changed it after that, because, like, again, only a veteran could tell us that, right? That's not something I could say, because I don't know. And I really, really loathe that when someone says, "Oh, I know how you feel," if they don't. Like, I don't like that kind of lip service at all. So like, I would never say, "Oh, Mariah, I know how you feel." I don't, right? So I am not going to pretend that I know what it's like to be a veteran. And I kind of put people in their place if they even act like they know, if they're not one, because it's disrespectful.
In the Gold Star community, we often feel like nobody has any idea or inclination of what our lives continue like. And then we go to an event where we meet other Gold Star family members, and it's open arms. And sometimes you don't even have to share the story. You don't even have to know them, and you'll stand there and cry for 10 minutes and just love with so much unconditional love because you know the pain, even though you may not know their story. And it's humbling. It's humbling.
I can't imagine. I mean, I've always wanted to take our gold trees to a gold star event. But I feel like, until I met you, at least, it wasn't something we ever had done. And I kind of assumed it was because I don't really belong, you know, is kind of how I felt. Like I don't, but it's not like I have to stay, right? I can go and I can take the trees and I can leave, right? You feel like you're, um, I feel like you know, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be emotional, like to see, and I'm sure the feeling will be intense, to see that, to witness it. But you do feel like you're, I would imagine, somewhere that you don't really, like you're intruding, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Sure. Well, I know that we're really excited to have you guys come and set up and be with our Gold Star families of North Carolina for our summer soiree on August 17th. We're really looking forward to the memories and those special moments that you're talking about right now. But we couldn't be happier. Lori, if there's anything else that you would want to get out there, is there anything coming up that you want to tell anybody about, or is there any support that you're looking for 2025 in the year coming up?
Um, you know, as you know, um, boards don't like it if you do not have funding for your events, like in ample time. And so I have made the terrible um, infraction of always saying yes to um, when someone asks us to come to something. And I realize I have to stop doing that now because um, the calendar is now full, right? So hold on one second. The calendar is now. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but what I never have ahead of time, and I'm sure someday I will, but today is not that day. When someone says to me, "Oh, will you go do whatever the event is?" Right? Um, Whether it's Alabama, Minnesota, Tennessee, Nebraska, will you come? I say yes because I feel like that's where God wants us to go. And the part that we don't ever have ahead of time are the funds, right? But we don't charge for the tribute. We're never going to charge for the tribute because I'm never going to put a price on other people's um, heads. I'm never going to do it. Um, it doesn't change the fact, though, that it takes 12 tanks of gas to get to Nebraska. And that you do need,
Small little,
yes,
small
and you
little,
do need someplace
you
to
know,
sleep when you get there. I mean, those
small little
those are
detail.
facts that have to be talked about. And so, needless to say, the last two trips we went on, we did not have the funds to go. And literally the week of, the one was the week before, the just out of the blue, there it came. Now, do I like it like that? No. I have begged God to let me be a professional. I've begged him, and he said no, because then I don't get the credit for it.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that.
The funds are really what, we have a Tennessee trip coming up in 2 weeks. I have no idea where the funds are coming from. I have no idea. So, and then, in August and September, October, November, there are literally what we call deployments every single month. But the very next one, but I just go one by one, and So that's the next one is Tennessee. Here we come. I don't know how we're getting there, where we're sleeping.
Well, sure. And you probably like to eat when you go to these events. And I'm
I
sure
do.
your volunteers enjoy eating when they're coming to help volunteer. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
And we
where can our listeners donate if they're so inclined to make a donation to help you coming into this busy holiday season?
okay. So the treeofvalor.org, there is a space, a place on there where you can donate through whatever means you use.
Sure, great. That's terrific. Well, Lori, it has been wonderful speaking with you today. I know it's been a little while since you and I have been able to get together, and I'm sure that we need like another 2-hour phone call after this just to catch up later this week. Ah,
But I really do appreciate you, inviting us, and we are just always excited to share our mission. And we always welcome additional pictures of your veterans from the past or from the present. So, and our family trees, that's a whole nother show, Mariah. But we posted a video about them today and they are beautiful.
oh, wow. Well, I can see the trees behind you in your gallery there, and they're beautiful. Your
Well, the
gallery is
thing is,
very nice.
if I can take, whoops, if I can take the camera up here 1 second, just so you can see these family trees. Hold on one
I
second.
like your fancy lighting and
So these are just like some of the family trees, right? So we take the people in your family who served, right?
yeah.
And we put your family name at the top of it. And what's exciting is we actually um, we have about 60 of these trees, but we are collecting them from all different states as well. So so far we have um, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, um, Florida, Tennessee, Nebraska, and Missouri. I think are the I think are the ones we have so far. So I'm super excited about it, just because, yeah, this is a beautiful way for your whole family to serve together from every generation by going with us in the tribute, and it shows America the real fabric of our nation.
It sure does. It sure does. Well, thank you, Lori. Thank you, everyone, for listening into Resilient Journeys. And remember, resilience is within us all. I look forward to seeing y'all again soon. And I hope that you continue to follow us on Resilient Journeys on YouTube, Facebook, and all of our other socials. Out.